Hello, the game has started and my opponent has opened with quern. Now I'm worried, not worried, I'm wondering about prawned. I'd be surprised if that wasn't good. Doesn't play currently. Under paw, don't think. What about unwarped? Yeah, thought that might be good. Now I've drawn a consonant heavy rack and the Y's a quasi-vowel, so I should be able to do something here. But what about this A? That looks quite useful. Dalgites. Why does that ring a bell? Dalgites. Opponent still thinking about the next move. Hopefully opponent plays down in the trip lane. But I'm not 100% sure about... I think Doma is good as well, but not sure about Dalgites. Oh, it is good. Fantastic. So that actually worked out well. The opponent's play of Omar actually enhanced the score. Now, I draw two V's, not ideal, but opponent scores a massive 72 for Zach, and he's pretty much level again after those two bingos. Well, I suppose quern was almost like a bingo anyway. Now I have Meg here, 36, decent score, but shocking rack leave. What about the Y? Wow, I don't think there is actually a way of getting rid of both V's. Okay, I'm not seeing anything great, so I will go with Meg for 36. Oh, not Meg. Gem. That's what I meant. 35. Now, duplicates again. Vivo is good, but it's not going to score very well. And yeah, just not seeing a good play with the V's. Vin just feels a bit weak in terms of rack management. divvy onto a Y, DIVVY. No option to play that currently. Yod is good, but it doesn't reach. Nothing for playing under AS. Opponent scores a massive 48 with his X, E and S. Nice tiles. But I won't have a comeback play here, unfortunately. I don't even have a DH play, like Doty would have been nice. I might go with Vin because at least it gets rid of the duplicates, the V and the I. 21. Okay, I draw a blank, but the rest of the rack pretty ropey. I don't draw the T that I needed for Doty. Heme is good, but no option for dual direction plays. So I have Void on the rack. Looking at the K, but the synergy with these tiles, pretty limiting. Hoi feels a bit weak. I've got to get rid of the V and D at a minimum. So a play of Void somewhere might do the trick. Voided, but Vind is no good. Video maybe. Sorts the rack out, doesn't score well, but at least it gets rid of the V and the D. Undoubles. Opponent's got the same idea as me. What about Thid? 27. Oh, Thid is no good. Don't know what I was thinking of there. Thid. Okay, Devoid. Devoid. 13. Gives back easy score to opponent. Does sort the rack out though. Yeah, I think I will go with this just for tile turnover. Okay. This is a little bit closer to a bingo. Unlatches, but that's a 9. Now there'll be some Hebrew words, I think, ending in, oh, opponent scored, 20. It felt like it was more. Unclash, no. Upclash. chulas, chulans. Can't see a play here. That's a shame. I think there would be a bingo here, definitely on to the N. Launches, yeah. Now, launch ES, so I need an E or an N. It's not going to happen. Loch. It's Loch. Loch, yeah, I thought it was. Scottish, I think an old Scottish spelling, or I think. Anyway, that pickup was shocking, to say the least. Utilities. But that's wishful thinking for an L or a T to suddenly become available. I might well change on this next turn. Utilizes. Opponent bingos. I don't want opponent to get a nice F play here, so I think I'll just close it down. The T not in the right spot. So what about Sui for 17? Yeah. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking, the last two pickups. I think I will have to change now, because struggling through this dross is not going to achieve much, really. I don't even have a K play which incorporates two I's. That might be slightly better than changing, but Kefi, no, Kiffy, no, just not working out. I mean, if here 28, but look at the rack leave, come on. I'm just going to keep scoring and hope for a balance effect. Sonari, not quite. I think I'm going to change two I's here on this next turn. Maybe, yeah, two I's, because there's only one I to come and far less vowels than consonants. So keeping a slightly heavy vowel rack, yeah, I think might be okay in that, it given the distribution. So there's definitely no 3i bingo here that I'm overlooking. It'll be an 8 if anything. Retiari. Actually, retiari would be nice if there was a floating R. That's not going to happen. Or a T. Retiari, yeah. And he's actually created a selfish hook for himself. He's probably got a T. So that was quite clever. Very clever. I'm not going to burn a blank just to take that spot, that's for sure. But I think I am going to change 2 eyes. Or do I throw 3 eyes back? No, I'm going to do this. That's pretty good. Lydia and Rin and Atelier. Just thinking if there's an anagram of Atelier. There is definitely, I think. Come on, Atelier and reality. That's it. Reality won't work. Just 1 square short. Is there a third anagram? I don't think so. Reality, Atelier, and just not spotting it. Now, if opponent blocks Lydia, or Atelier would be better because it leaves the T next to the double word square rather than the vowel of the Lydia would leave an E there. Now, what are the other options? Through N, can't end in an S, but I do have I. Not great position for that one either. What about an ing ending play? No, too vowel heavy for that. Realize? No. Aliener plus an I. Opponent down to the last few minutes. Literate? No. Just too vowel heavy here. The O. Realterion. Okay, opponent's made his move. Atelier for 65. Tweenia. Or I've got the right component of the word. Winterier. Winter. No, that's not. Interweb onto a B. Will opponent play a B? Interwar. Not quite. Wintered onto a D. I mean, I have white for 43. Now, does any of the floaters here help me? Winter. 6 tiles in the bag. If I play 4, that's not bad. Opponent picks up 2. I can't see it, but I'm going for the score. White. Okay, does opponent have a bingo? Probably yes, with those tiles. So he'll take the lead. Yeah, I thought so. Spirally for 82. 4 earn. I thought you could earn it beforehand, but I don't think that's... What are the other... 4 ran, 4 near. Opponent's got BT, so he's going out for sure. Yeah, bot and bant. Yeah, I think opponents won this game, unless I can bingo. Reasoner through an S. Falconer. Nah, just not close enough. Grade for 22. It's weak. Yeah, I thought he would bingo, but I just... Probably would have bingoed there. Maybe not. Maybe I should have blocked that. I don't know. It's hard to know for sure. Opponent's got BI-double-T or bot and band, so he's definitely going out. Okay. Grade for 22. That's a shame. Thank my opponent for the game. And 471 to 446. Congrats to opponent. Let's see what we missed. Wow, it was close at the end there, but just I think I should have blocked those floaters, because opponent having to bingo would have had to be a very specific placement of the T. What are the other front hooks for him? Just the T I can think of. So Quern was the opening move by opponent, 48 points, off to a good start. Then Unwarped was the only bingo. Opponent gets Omar down for 30, but could have played Quota. Wow, that would have sorted the rack out nicely for 41. He goes with Omar, which gives me Dalgites. Well, didn't give me Dalgites, but it enhanced Dalgites by taking the front hook. Now opponent's got a great rack here, a monster 72-point play. That's a bingo in effect. And now I've got Vommed. That would have been the play, I think. Getting rid of a V and an M. 36, but leaving the V right there, so giving 30 or 40 back to opponent. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a massive fan of that level of volatility. And I scored 35, albeit a much worse rack leave. But yeah, maybe Vommed. Maybe. Opponent's got Yexus for 48 or Sexto for 50, so he's done well with the Z and the X, the heavy and the Q. He did very well with those heavyweights. Now Vivdas, that was the play, on to AS. That was how you get out of trouble quick. Dumping both of those undesirable V's. 13, a pretty poor score, but yeah, I mean the equity quite similar to Vin. Now, what has opponent got here? No bingo. Getting close though. He plays Get, and that would have got him closer to bingo territory by balancing the rack. Devoid for 13, but Hod, 12k. Hod, yeah. Actually, why didn't I consider Hod? That's a decent rack leave, actually. Anyway, Devoid, a couple of points less than Hod in terms of equity score. Now opponent's got the fourth heavyweight, so Q, X, Z, and J. What does he do with J? Okay, he gets 20 for Joe. Sorts the rack out beautifully, though. Now, Nuchals. I had a feeling there was something here with the blank as an N, but I couldn't work it out. Nuchals. Launch was quite nice for 40, blank S, but obviously, but look at that, 91, Nuchals at N4, getting the C tripled, and then pluralizing Zach, so that would have been nice. Nuchals. Now opponent's got this rack, E-Nation and Nomades, but E-Nation the only bingo. Now I was faced with a bit of a dilemma here, because I'm looking at two Fs and I'm looking at this monster hotspot if he has one of the Fs, not to mention an S or a blank to ram home another bingo. But I just thought, what does one do here? do I leave the hotspot and change IIU in the hope of bingoing next turn? And I just kind of weighed it up in my mind, and I thought, well, if opponent plays there, he's killed 3 floaters anyway. Actually 4, because I would have had to play through the T. He's killed 4 floaters. I've got an A to work with as a floater for an 8-letter bingo. And I just thought, what's the point? I'm unlikely to bingo on this board, so I thought, mitigate the damage that opponent can do there, take out the hotspot and score a little bit, 17. But Sui at N10, that's Sui there, but it still doesn't address the danger. I'm still happy with my move for the reasons stated. Now, opponent did not have an F, but he would have been able to balance his rack quite nicely there with a play of tune, for example. And he goes with Koto for 16. Good move. Now I've got a dreadful rack, 4 eyes. I drew another eye, or 2 eyes, I don't know. Now if for 28, but Philly eye. That would have been great. Now where's Philly eye? Oh, using the blank. Nice, across the top. That's not terrible, but 39's not a monster score. It only puts me slightly ahead and creates a hotspot above IT. And there's a lot of tiles which could play there. The F, the H, the W, the P, so the B's. So opponent's likely to get, oh mind you, he's not, because LI takes nothing in front of it and neither does FA. So Philly I might have been quite good because opponent couldn't have got 2 directions above IT. The more I think about it, the more I think maybe it was worth doing. And look at the equity difference, 27 to 42. Yeah, so Philly I was probably the way to go. Now opponent's got Hamada for 36, Nomad 24. He goes with Heem, and he didn't have the T. Interesting. He's got this rack. He's hoping I don't have one of these 2 T's or a bingo-y rack. So that was a bit of a gamble on his part. Now, still Val heavy. I did exchange here, but Aya for 19 at A13. I was wondering about Reem. R-H-E-M-E. Reem. That would have been the play. A-I-I blank. Yeah, ire. Quite like that, especially since there are 4 E's to come. So I'm likely to draw one of them. Fairly likely to draw one. And opponent now has anabolic steroids. So he could have played anabolic through the eye. That would have been a game-sealing move, I'd say, potentially. Actually, it would have given me floaters to play through as well, so it wouldn't have been over. Now, leafier, emailer, obviously quite a few here. I won't go through the list, but none in column A. Actually, yes, of course, because of Reem. They're all in column A. I was looking at row 5. So that was the play. But opponent then bingos here. Interesting. 81 is more than 65 by 16 points. That could have been crucial. Now, alley form. So opponent would have A9, alley form making ream. But I wonder what he would have had if airfoil, foliari. Yeah, I just wonder what opponent would have had if I played here. He plays on to IN, gets some bingo down there, and now opponent plays foley. Scores are pretty close here. Now what do? No bingo, but Twire was the 46 point play. I got 43. Would it have been worth my while to block? I just wonder. I don't know if blocking, say a play of I don't know, Townia, yeah. Or maybe even something more blocky like WROTE, wrote. Wrote would have left 2 in the bag. But then opponent gets a big score there. So wrote would have been 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. Blocking all bingo lanes, F, O, and L. 18 puts me on 399, call it 400. And then opponent I don't think would have had, he might have had something through the N, ending in NY. He's got pyramids on his rack. I don't know, that's an interesting one. I wonder if wrote, if he doesn't have a bingo through the N, probably still scores quite well, but yeah, I wouldn't have, I'd be on 400. He would have got about 30 or 40 if he doesn't bingo. And he draws the last 2, so I go out in 2, and I'm just trying to reverse engineer the outcome. It's hard to do it. Anyway, spirally there, and grade was the highest score, so not much I could have done. No bingos on offer. But yeah, I just think blocking those 3 bingo lanes there, 1, 2, and 3. Maybe opponent doesn't have a bingo through the O or the N. I'll double check later to see. And anyway, grade, and then opponent goes out with bot. So that was the end of the game. Pretty exciting at the end. Hard to know exactly what would have been the outcome if I'd played wrote instead. It would have been a lot closer, I feel. But perhaps there was a bingo, in which case it wouldn't have been. Hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.